Welcome to the CIS podcast, episode 2. My name is Jamie Austin, and with me today is Evan Bloom, owner of Sir Speedy, Westbury. So Evan, it's nice to see you and welcome today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it was my pleasure. I want to jump in right away, ask you one of the hard questions. On your website, you boast in large letters, and I emphasize large letters, "We are different."
Yes.
I think that's a good place to start. Tell me, why are you different?
Why are we different? Well, I could start with in the last year, almost exactly a year actually, we changed up our marketing program, and we realized what we do, and we actually changed it and it's called We Do. And you'll see in a lot of our marketing materials right now, it talks about We Do. And one of the things that's come up time and time again through our franchise and with my salespeople and as we've talked with their customers is so often they don't realize all the things that we do. So the big emphasis has been for the last year, and we'll be going forward with our conversations, with our marketing, and that certainly includes the website that you saw there, is the many things that we do, because it really our company has grown from being that mom and pop print shop that's down the block printing letterhead and business cards and an occasional brochure to really being a marketing services provider. And what that means really is we do all the things that a marketing department might need help getting produced. Generally on the tangible side, so we're not getting too involved in a lot of the digital side specifically, although we do some things. But it might be we have graphic designers on staff. It might be printing something as simple as a business card or a letterhead. We have a signage department where we're putting up monuments and light boxes on the side of a building, as well as just printing a foam core poster for your event. And it could be something that's getting into the mail stream through our mail department, our promotional products division. So we really do a lot of different things to support the marketing departments of our customers.
So you've just taken the wind out of my sail for my next question. And I'm looking at your sign in the back, and the sign says signs, posters, banners. I've seen a tagline that says print signs marketing. And my question was going to be, what are you really? And so you're a marketing and printing organization.
Yes, we get asked that a lot. And when we come out of sales meetings and conversations with our customers, it's like, I never thought you could really do that or help me with that. And what our goal is, it's to really be a service to the marketing department of our customers. And and like I said, it generally what we do is the production of the tangible, because whether you're printing a business card or a large sign that's a banner, a poster, or even really the sign on the side of your building, in the end, we're putting together it's a manufacturing process, putting together a message that's being communicated out there. And it's just the medium you're putting it on. And so, like I said, we're generally dealing with the tangible, not as much as I'm not going to get into search engine marketing and Google AdWords. I have friends that do that stuff in the business, like your first podcast with Elliot. He's great with some of that stuff. So we're the other side of the business of where he's at.
The expression used to be ink on paper. Yep. Now it's ink on anything. And I love what you've called that, production of the tangible. So again, with promotional people used to say, we can put your name on anything. What you're saying is you could put the company's name or their message on anything. I know you've mentioned to me you do car wraps. I've seen posts where you put up signs on the top of a 6-story building, or you've done signs in the entranceways of companies. So again, to repeat myself, it's production of the tangible, which is really ink on anything. Which leads me to I heard a rumor that you are top 10 Sir Speedy franchise in the country. Is that true?
Yes. In 2020, we were named our franchise's 8th largest center. That was by volume. I will find out in July where we ranked last year. We were kind of 6 months behind in when our company convention is. But yes, we have been a top 25 center for our franchise for the last, could be 10 to 15 years. And then 2 years ago, yeah, it was really nice when we cracked the top 10. So that was a great thing.
Congratulations.
Well, I'm guessing we're going to stay right about there. I hope we do. We're also, since we're kind of bragging on big numbers, we were also in that year is when we cracked the top 100 of commercial printers in the country. So we were ranked,
that's impressive. That's very impressive. So
yeah,
not only Sir Speedy, but commercial printers across the country.
it's actually a North American rating through one of our trade organizations, and that was almost a bigger deal to crack the top 100 there, because there's a lot of print companies in North America. So that was a nice honor.
All right. Now, this is a trick question. As you know, I was in the travel business for many, many, many years. We don't like to talk about that. I was in the local newspaper business for a little bit. And people said to me, you're going from one dying industry to another. Is print a dying sport?
I would not say it's dying, no. People have been saying it's dying since I came into the business 30 years ago in 1992. People were saying, by the turn of the century, what's going on? And even you ask my kids today, who's going to be in the working world? One of my daughter's going to actually be in the working world in another year. And sometimes she's like, I don't understand your business, but yet it's put her and a lot of people through college, and a lot of lives have lived off of this business. So no, it's not dying, except for those who are not changing. And that's really not different than any other business. You have to adapt with technology and use the different technology that's out there to encompass servicing your customers. And that's kind of where we started our conversation. And it's not just about putting ink on a piece of paper. Yes, if that's what all you're trying to do and make your living, at one point you could have made your living off printing letterhead and business cards and some brochures. That you're not going to do anymore. You can't compete, and there's not enough margin to do that. So you need to do other things. And that's kind of what led us to where we are today, and how I have so many divisions within our company that all surround that marketing message. So like you said, and I said already, it's putting a message on something tangible that's out there. It's not just a piece of paper anymore.
All right. That led me to an interesting thought. I was saying, we're still in a pandemic, or we'd like to say we're on the tail end of a pandemic. And we all talk about how companies had to pivot and change. I think one of the things, and just tell me if I'm right, one of the things that you saw was a tremendous increase in the need for in-store signage, specifically social distancing and safety signs. It reminded me of, there's an ad on TV that you see about a sign company, and they talk about all the different signs that they put out to make it easier to get to a retail store. Did you see that as an increase, and do you see that as continuing?
Yes, absolutely. That was one of those things that helped get us through the pandemic, because there was a lot of business that wasn't happening. You didn't have trade shows, so all the trade show work we did was non-existent, and you had a lot of other things that just weren't needed at the time. So being able to help businesses put up plexiglass or make the signs a reminder about washing your hands, or the floor graphics that you saw all over the store marking 6-foot areas. We made a lot of that stuff, and I'm not going to say it was the best thing in the world, and it was a necessary evil is what it was. It was something we were able to produce, fortunately. It didn't make a ton of money on it, even though that's what people think, but it was something that absolutely helped get us through and has kept us in business. No, I don't see it happening for the long run. And at this point, people are moving on with either they have it, so they're not going to need it again, or they're just done with that and they've moved on and they're saying, the pandemic is what it is. COVID is something that we're dealing with now, and they're just dealing with it different ways.
During the pandemic, there was very little. There was no activity in trade shows. Is that coming back?
Yeah, absolutely. Biggest problem we're running into now, and it's not just us, it's everyone, is the supply chain and companies coming back and getting ramped up with the materials to be able to do that. And that is hitting particularly the trade show world hard. But yes, trade shows are starting to happen. I went to one starting last summer, and they've been coming back over the last year. But particularly, I would say since January of this year, they are, at least in the Northeast in our area, they're happening much more, which is a good thing. Absolutely. We're big suppliers and proponents of trade shows. We have a lot of customers that do it, and it kind of leads into, we're doing everything from, making sure the salespeople and the reps in the booth have a business card and some printed collateral, to that promotional product giveaway that they could use to hand out, to the booth itself. We're building out entire booths for people, and it is coming back strong. Absolutely.
I keep on going back to that. The print, signs, marketing, and I'm constantly thinking and asking, what are you really? Graphic design, online portal, trade shows, labels and packaging, fulfillment, car wraps, license plate holders. I saw that on your website. I thought, I see myself a license plate holder, and promotional items. So you ventured into all these different areas, and again, it's all about production on tangibles. Online, you've kind of skirted away from that. You said you're not an SEO, you're not a marketing, a digital marketing firm. You're not coming in and building somebody's website necessarily, but you do have an online presence.
Yes. So we are still a very big proponent of technology and using technology and online services. So to kind of get back to the first part of your question, we said, well, what are you really? Well, we are a marketing services provider. So we are the support system to our customers' marketing departments. So we want to be there in all the different facets of things that they need to help them grow their company. We try to provide those services. And so that's where all those different divisions came about, because they all fall under the marketing umbrella. And we want to be able to provide those services to them. So they have I don't like to use one-stop shop, but it really is a one-stop shop of services. So the reason we got so involved in signage in a small, quick amount of time, and we've been involved in signage for about 10 years now. We're in our 30th year of business. But in that 10 years, it's become about half of my business. Literally almost 50% of my business is signage based. And that's because we're already talking to the marketing departments and the same people. It's just we were dealing with them in one fast, and we said, well, now, hey, let us try and help you with these other things, because it's already part of what you're dealing with. It's one less vendor you have to have in your role. So we already understand what you're doing. We understand how you manage your brand, how you manage all the aspects of that communication. And so it was a very easy and natural thing for us to help them into the signage world. And the trade show is the perfect example. Well, hey, like I said before, I need some business cards, I need the promotional product, I need the booth built. It all is revolving around the same brand. So we made an effort to really be able to help in that perspective.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
My docs, I saw that on there. You've mentioned that in the past. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Sure. So the MyDocs name is just our proprietary name for an online portal or an online ordering system, which is no different than you go onto Amazon or any other of the number of e-commerce websites out there. That's our e-commerce platform. Now, when we implement what we call a MyDocs system or online portal for your company, what we're doing is we're building essentially a website just for your company with all of your products on it specifically. So, for example, I was on a call this morning with a client doing a demo where they are managing a brand where they have 1,000 or so reps around the East Coast, and they needed a system for these reps just to be able to order business cards and certain marketing postcards and some other marketing materials. And what was happening prior was they were calling into a main office. You had a handful of people just managing these phone calls and emails about ordering something as simple as a business card. Well, now these people can just go to a portal. It's going to look like they're logging into a part of their own intranet system. It's all branded for them, and they can log in. It's credentialed. They could put in, all right, here's my business card, type in their information, see a real-time proof on the fly. The order gets fulfilled, comes to us, ready to print, and we do so in a matter of days. So it eliminates our art department. We do have graphic designers on staff, so we can manage some of that. But if you could eliminate that, you're eliminating time, you're eliminating errors, and everything happens much more quickly and just much more efficient.
I'm assuming this program is just for products that you sell to those clients, or that you provide to those clients.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, the majority of what is in a site for a customer is stuff that we're producing for them. And it could be anything as simple as a business card, like I mentioned. We have another customer that's in commercial real estate. They manage properties all across the country, and we're producing signage. But again, it's the same idea. It's just instead of a 2 by 3.5 inch business card, the sign might be 4 foot by 8 foot. But it's the same kind of idea. They're seeing what's available. They're putting in information. They're seeing real-time proofs. It could be a T-shirt, or some kind of polo shirt or other giveaway because they're going to a trade show. And these are the 5 items or 10 items that the company has designated available to you to go to a show or to give away as a sales collateral piece. But also, the way the system is built, it can be used as a pass-through. So say you are you're a real estate company, and you weren't going through and getting the facilities shirts that all the facilities managers for your 500 shopping centers around the country needed from me. You could still put those items in the system and use it as a pass-through. So instead of after you hit check out and you process your order, the order can then go to that third-party vendor. We can integrate with other services, other companies, and they can still fulfill the item.
But the fact is that it's the system that you have that you're offering as a benefit to those clients.
Yeah, it's a benefit. It's a very minimal. Sometimes there's no cost to set it up. Sometimes there's nominal cost to set up. Depends on what kind of custom programming we have to do. But it's really meant to be looked at as a business management tool more than just like an online system for getting my business cards. Customers of mine are really using it as a management tool because you're maintaining the brand, you're managing people's time. There's so many good aspects to it outside of just, hey, I need a set of business cards. How can I order them?
Well, again, we talk about pandemic. We talk about the acceleration of change as opposed to the initiation of change. And I always think of restaurants and online ordering and pickup, and that the restaurant that was able to, well, I go back for a second. Think about the pizza place that you walk in and you want to get a slice of pizza, and they're constantly answering the phone, taking somebody else's order over the phone. It's intrusive. It interrupts. It's inefficient. And the idea of if I can go online and order my pie, and then show up in 20 minutes and pick it up, and it's paid for and everything is done, it's a beautiful thing. So it's the pivot in the restaurant world of automating the reservation and the purchasing process. You're automating the purchasing process, streamlining it, no one wants to talk to anybody anymore. So now they can go online, they can order it, and it's all done. Interesting, very interesting. And it relates to the fact that we're all experiencing a commonality with this change, and how you can look at what one industry has done and apply that to your industry and understand the pitfalls to it. So I compliment you on that. Well done, my friend.
Thank you.
You talk about real estate. Did you mention any other industries? What other, is there a theme to the types of industries that you tend to service?
Well, real estate is our largest vertical, commercial real estate specifically, actually, not so much on the residential side, but commercial real estate has been good to us, and we try to be good back. They're very good customers. We could service them well, because it ranges from, like I mentioned, the exterior signage that might be going on outside of a building, or outside of whether it's a light box on the side of the building, or the monument sign, or the pylon sign, but also the internal. That's really where we spend most of our time, inside the building. We do a lot with wayfinding signage and all your ADA signage. That's actually one of our biggest verticals in the last 3 years. That's grown tremendously. We have a really good expertise to be able to manage that for a building. We recently outfitted 9 floors of a Manhattan office building, all new construction, with over 2,000 signs, conceptualized, the whole program of, every door, every room, every office, needs to have a sign. And a lot of those have to make sure they're ADA compliant. So we can help manage that type of stuff. So that's where all that commercial real estate world has gone for us, and it's been great. We do a lot of work in the not-for-profit sector, and that's nice because it's a nice. They're good customers to have. We like, and it also allows us to give back in a lot of ways as well. So we have a really good relationship with our not-for-profit customers. What else? Senior care and medical that's booming in the United States, period. And we have been able to capitalize on that. One of our largest clients manages, develops senior care facilities up and down the East Coast, and that's been great for us as well. So there's still manufacturers out there, a lot of manufacturers out there that still need stuff, so we support them as well. So those are probably a handful of our top verticals.
Again, it relates to what you said earlier. You're saying that signage is now about 50% of your overall business, and the old ink on paper is diminishing, but it does still exist. So I want to end with the interesting question is, what types of companies are a good fit for you?
Really, like we've said all along in the last 15, 20 minutes, it's companies with marketing departments. If you're a company, and you could be a company with one person who's in charge of marketing and sales, because there's a lot of small businesses, if you only have 5 or 10 or 15 employees, a lot of times that whole department is one person. But if the company is spending the money and has someone on payroll to do that full time, market and or sell the company, there's a good chance they need support, and they need some of the things that we're doing. Ideally, we'd like a bigger company that has a little bit more of a team, because then they're doing that much more of it. But that's where we start. When my salespeople are prospecting, they're looking for marketing titles within the company. If they have somebody with a marketing title, there's a good chance we can support.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Well, I thank you. I found this interesting, fascinating. It's always nice to speak with you. Always learn something new. Hopefully, those of you out there that are watching will learn something new. If you are interested and you need the services, if you have a marketing department or marketing person and you need the support services of someone like Evan, you can reach out to Evan at I don't know,
the phone number is 516-334-7400. Again, it's 516-334-7400. And our website is sirspeedyny.net. Again, sirspeedyny.net.
Of course, you can always go to CASWW, which is CAS Worldwide, and you'll find Evan under our preferred solution providers banner, and all of his information is there. Or you can always reach out to me, Jamie Austin, again, CASWW.com. So, Evan, thank you very much. Any last parting words?
No, I really appreciate you thinking of me, inviting me on today. This is great.